Growing up, one of my best friends had to convince me to stay the night at her house because, bitch, her place was scary. Like, I already had enough haunted shit going on in my own home. Why would I want to go to yours and experience your unknowns? However, she would convince me, normally with a Hot Pocket. Big bad. No, but like when she would convince me, I would have to set up rules. Like, one, I couldn't go to the kitchen or to the restroom by myself, and two, I had to fall asleep first and then she could fall asleep. You're not going to the dream world and leaving me awake, bitch. Sometimes I would try to go to sleep and then I would hear her snoring. I'm like, wake the fuck up, you did not just leave me here alone. So there were times in our house that we would be like about to fall asleep and you just hear like clawing against her like walls. Those clawing noises were not even as bad compared to the other thing that I experienced there. So there was one time where I stayed at her house, and again, we were teenagers, so I was waiting for my mom to come pick me up. It was just me and her at her house because their family had left and we were just waiting for my mom to come. So we are in her room and I hear a knock at the door, so I was like, oh, don't walk me, I'll just see myself out. But when I get to the door, there's no one. My mom's not even outside and I didn't want to wait out there in the heat, so I was like, oh fuck it, let me go back to her room. To get to her room, I had to walk through a hallway like this and then turn left, so it was a longer hallway to the left. Once you got to that little fork where you had to turn left, there was like a big picture frame there. So as I'm walking and I'm about to turn left to her room, I stop because I look at the picture frame, and from the glare of the picture frame I can see me, but I can also see a little girl behind me. Like, I can make out details. It was like she was shorter, it was a little girl because their hair was down and straight, but when I turned around, because I thought it was like her little sister, there was no one there. And at that moment I also remembered that her entire family had left, so nobody was there except for my friend. Bitch, I did not make it to her room. I turned the fuck around and I went straight outside to wait for my mom. Like, literally, I did not give a fuck about that heat then. So as I'm waiting out there, and I want to say 10 minutes have passed and my mom was still not there, I see my friend come to the door and she's like, what the fuck, what are you still doing here? Because she thought I left. I didn't go back to the room, so she thought that door knock was my mom and I had left my mom. So when she saw me outside her front door, she's like, what the fuck are you doing here still? So I tell her then and there, like, I fucking saw a little girl there, your family's not here. And she's like, and you just fucking left me in there alone? I sure fucking did. Yes, I did. They're your ghosts, so you keep them. But that wasn't even the worst one. So she did this without me. My friend, for whatever reason, went exploring in her attic and she found attic? Anyway, she found like those really big and old camcorders, like the video recorders. And we thought it was gonna be a great idea to set it up in her living room and see if we catch anything. We were in our ghost adventure era, okay? So we set it up at nighttime when we were about to go to sleep and we were just gonna check it in the morning, right? So in the middle of the night, I got a little hungry and I got a little hungry and I was like, let's go get food. And she said, okay. But I was like, wait, because we knew everybody was asleep. It was the middle of the night and a bitch was scared. And I was like, okay, let's go. But you walk behind me in case there's a ghost. Because that little girl was behind me that one time. So I was like, fuck that. My friend's gonna go behind me. I'm gonna go in front of her and we're gonna make it safe. I think at that moment, we kind of forgot that the camera was recording because we were just like bullshitting all night and going to get a snack. So we go get food, come back to her room and go to sleep. And then in the morning, we're like, oh fuck, the camera, let's go see if we caught anything. I wish we had the recording still. You should see that fucking recording. So nothing really happens throughout the entire night except for when we decided to go to the kitchen. Let me remind you, I had asked my friend to go behind me because I didn't want the ghost to be behind me. I was gonna be scared. In the recording, as we're fucking watching, you see a little like boy in front of me behind the little boy, and my friend behind me who was supposed to be protecting me from the fucking ghost. And we were like, wait, no, like, what if it's a shadow? It was a tiny, you can make out like the silhouette of a little boy, and we were like, wait, what if it's the shadows? But then we rewound the tape, played it again. It wasn't a shadow because you could see that little boy and then you see both of our shadows like next to us, and it wasn't one of us, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think it was only scary because it like confirmed that there was something there. This is probably why I never want to record at my mom's house, because if I actually see what I had seen like in front of me on camera where I can show everybody, how am I supposed to walk back in there? Anyway, you would think that shit would have stopped us from like loving scary movies or like the paranormal or playing with the Ouija board in the middle of the night. No, it didn't stop us. But it definitely was one of the scariest things that I've experienced, because what are the odds that I'm telling her to go behind me because I'm scared? Meanwhile, little kid in front of me that we never saw. I believe that she also had experiences at her house. I think we should convince her to make a video and tell us what the fuck happened, because I vaguely remember her telling me something about, I think she was taking a shower and she saw, like, I don't know. I will try to tag her in the caption or in the comments so that we can all convince her to make a video of what she saw.